Hello, and welcome to Module 1, Introduction to the Online English Program. In this video, I'm going to introduce the Online English Program, or OEP, and talk a little bit about the design of the program and the key players. So let's get started. There are two very important components to the OEP that set it apart from a traditional classroom setting. In a traditional model, students work face-to-face with one teacher. The OEP moves the classroom into the future through the integration of technology and new pedagogical approaches. The first new component is video conferencing. Every participating school has their own video conferencing classroom. The video conference room is fully equipped for an online English class. There is a large screen HD TV, a soundbar for excellent sound quality, and a laptop connected via HDMI. There is also an HD camera for the online English teacher to see the students. Via video conferencing software, learners will be able to interact in real time with a native English speaker who is also a foreign language professional. Learners will be able to interact with their online English teacher, or OET, as if he or she was there in the classroom. The other important component of the online English program is team teaching. Learners will still have their face-to-face classes with their school English teacher. Online English classes are supplemental to their already existing English exposure. What makes this program unique is that the online English teacher coordinates regularly with the classroom or lead English teacher to achieve a harmonious balance between their online and face-to-face classes. This allows for learners to be engaged in distinct pedagogical styles and techniques that are coordinated to best help the learners be successful. In fact, there are a lot of people involved in making the OEP successful. Before we go any further into how the program functions, I'd like to introduce the key players. In the organizational chart shown, you can see the TLC members that work with the online English program, as well as the Chilean school personnel who participate. On the TLC side, we have the General Manager, Joseph Williams, followed by the Learner Experience Manager, Rachel Laycook, and the Remote Teaching Coordinator, Miranda Marine. These three members are part of the OEP administrative team. The other team is the academic team. This consists of the lead English teacher, the online English teacher, and the classroom assistant. Let's take a look at the academic team first. Everyone in the academic team coordinates on a day-to-day basis to make sure that OEP classes run smoothly and effectively. Let's start with the lead English teacher. The LET is responsible for setting the pace of the class and choosing lessons. This means that the LET regularly looks at the lesson menus provided and chooses what material should be worked with and what adaptations need to be made to better meet the learner's needs. The LET communicates all of this information to the online English teacher, or OET. The OET and LET should work together to figure out the best use of the materials, but ultimately the LET decides what materials are used and in what order. Next, we have the classroom assistant, or CA. The CA is the professional in the room during the OEP classes. Because the LET is not there while the classes take place, the CA is primarily responsible for classroom management. The CA is not required to speak in English and will communicate to the OET during class in Spanish. The CA will also relay any necessary information to the OET if a class is delayed for any reason. This could be technical, scheduling issues, or other disruptions taking place at the school. The last member of the academic team is the OET. Before any class, the OET must coordinate with the LET to make sure the materials work for the students. The OET must also adapt materials based on the LET's requests. During the class, the OET works with the CA to manage the classroom. However, their primary responsibility is to facilitate conversation and the use of English with a variety of activities during OEP classes. If you're still not clear on what each role entails, don't worry. We will look at all the academic roles in much more detail in the next segment of the introduction module. The other side of the program is the administrative team, which focuses on logistics and quality control. At the top of the hierarchy is the general manager. The GM liaises with the Ministry of Education and the public schools involved in the program. The GM is less involved in the day-to-day operations in the program and more concerned with the overall success of the OEP. This includes, but is not limited to, finances, equipment allocation, and quality control for materials and OETs. Below the GM is the Learner Experience Manager. The LEM is also responsible for quality control, but with a focus on OET evaluation and underperformance. The LEM is also the direct supervisor of the Remote Teaching Coordinator. This brings us to the last member of the administrative team. The RTC maintains the standards of the OEP team on a day-to-day basis. The RTC is responsible for supporting the OET team and providing workshops and other professional development opportunities. The RTC, along with the LEM, conduct all of the online English teacher evaluations. The RTC also provides logistical and academic support to the OETs and is there to help smooth any tensions that may develop between OETs and LETs. All right, now that we have a general understanding of who is who, let's look at what else makes the OEP successful. As we already mentioned, the main feature of the online English program is remote English classes given through video conferencing. Video conferencing equipment is set up and provided by the Ministry of Education in each participating school. Two important points to note about the OEP classes. OEP classes operate in 45-minute sessions like a normal class. While the students have English class with the LET throughout the week, learners only participate in the OEP once a week. The other important point is that a class is broken up into two groups for OEP classes. For example, Class 5A is divided into 5A1 and 5A2. 5A1 has class once a week on Monday at 10. Class 5A2 also has class once a week, but on Monday at 10:45. The two groups of a class are usually back-to-back on a given day and have between 12 and 20 students. This means that when 5A1 is having OEP class, 5A2 is with the LET for regular English class. The same is true for when 5A2 is having OEP class. 5A1 is in a regular English class. You may be thinking, well, is there a difference between OEP classes and the learner's regularly scheduled English class? OEP lessons are adapted from the Ministry of Education curriculum and textbook for Basico 5th and 6th. This ensures that the material is relevant for a student's current coursework and fits into the LET's course plan. However, the focus of OEP classes is on production. Students will be taking what they have been learning in their classes with the LET and applying it in online English program classes with the OET. Also mentioned already, but incredibly important, is the constant coordination between LETs and OETs. The success of the program is in large part due to consistent and meaningful interactions between both teachers. Finally, we have the evaluation of the program, which will happen through a few different channels. The first is regular, informal surveys done at the end of each lesson with the learner. An example of this could be stomp your feet if you liked the class, or clap your hands if you thought the activity was too difficult. The important part here is to find a way to make feedback engaging and fun for the students. The second evaluative form is through formal surveys done 3 times a year with the lead English teacher, the online English teacher, and the classroom assistant. It's important to note that these questionnaires are given to help us keep on track and meet the goals of the online English program. They are a valuable part of ensuring that we are providing the best experience possible for all participants. Thank you for watching this introduction video to the online program. Please continue on to find out more about the roles and responsibilities of the key members we were just introduced to.